Hi, my name is Albert.
Hello, Albert. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you here today on a WebSummit. Today I would like to talk about you.
We are a company that, well, what we try to do is to help migrant workers manage their buying power. There's 250 million migrant workers in the world, and their numbers are growing faster than the population, the demographic rate. And every year they send home $650–700 billion
650 billion.
just by official regulated channels. There's also hawala, which is a bad thing. You don't want to do that, but approximately a larger amount than that, about $1 trillion, is sent by hawala. But the money that they send to their families, to their countries of origin, is not everything, because they don't send everything that they make. They live on something as well. So that buying power is around about $2 trillion.
Wow.
Yeah. Historically, the remittance industry, they send this money without opening bank accounts because they don't trust banks, and banks don't like them as clients. They are migrant workers. They're very difficult to reach. They're very difficult to access, because an elephant you can kill with one bullet.
Yeah.
But if you have mosquitoes,
Yeah.
lots of them, how do you reach every one of them? Each of them has little money, but combined they have huge buying power. So you can only access this through fintech, through technology. 5 years ago it wasn't possible because smartphone penetration among them wasn't big enough. But now even poorer, straighter migrant workers have smartphones because they want to talk to their families by Skype, by Facebook Messenger. They want to stay in touch with their families. So they're very literate in terms of mobile phones and smartphones. And they are very quick to find best deals. So our service on the surface of it appears like a price comparison website. We show you the location of remittance agencies around you, and then we make it transparent for you, because you see, you are dealing here with an equation with two unknowns. There's commission and exchange rate. Simple blue-collar workers have difficulty processing these numbers in their heads. So we do it for them, and we show how much money will be received at destination in local currency. Yeah? So what matters for them is how much money their relatives will get. And we show, if you go to this agency, then your relative in wherever, India, Philippines, will get that much, this one that much, etc. After all the deductions, after all commissions, exchange rate. Because this is very useful service for them. So we never had to spend $1 on buying traffic, and within less than 1 year after launch, we had over 1 million users on our website.
Already?
By word of mouth. Because when they can save money, they talk to each other. It's very important for them. The whole reason why they came so far from home to work is that they want to send money to their families. They want to save, they don't buy anything for themselves, and they send money to their families. Now we have all this data, because if they have come to our website, beneath this surface is a powerful engine that collects their data. They give informed consent to share their personal data with us.
Yes.
We talk to them also through chat bots integrated in Facebook, Skype, Facebook Messenger, etc. So we can get the information which they have shared with the social media. So now we know all about them, including not only their names, identifiers, email addresses, mobile phones, but also their lifestyle, where they are, what language they speak, how much money they are sending, where, how often, etc., etc. Yeah. Also on the receiving end, we know, which is very important, how much money the receiver gets. Now let's talk a minute about the receivers. If you live in India or in Nigeria and receive $300 per month from your relative working in London at construction site or whatever, that makes you upper middle class, because doctors and teachers receive less than that. However, you are very difficult to identify because you live in the same neighborhood as poor people do. It's just your relative went to London to work, or to Europe, to some place, to America maybe, to Canada maybe. So the way they spend their money is they're in the money 2 days a month. They receive the remittance. First day they pay the bills and pay the debts. Second day they buy stuff for the next month. And then they sit 28 days without money. It's useless to message them and to offer them any services when they don't have money. Because they have asked us, where is the best deal for me to send money and to receive money? We know when they have that money. So we can deliver to them value-added offers. And good offers like, you just picked up the money in this place. Around the corner there's a 7-Eleven shop which will give you 2 packs of, powdered milk for the price of 1. Why don't you go there? You go there, you spend the rest of the money you just picked up in the other location. All of it.
Yeah, but to make it more clear, how practically it will work? For example, I know personally also friends that make 5,000 euros, that we're talking about the immigrants. They're making 5,000 euros per month, and they send that money to their countries, and they usually use bank transactions. They use Western Union, if we are talking about the Norway. This is the 2 things that they're using mostly. And with the service that you provide, how do they do it? It's like PayPal, or it is what?
We don't touch their money. We don't want to be regulated. We don't want to have to obtain a license in every country that we operate. So we only process the information, like Uber, that doesn't hire drivers, doesn't own cars. It only connects you with the service provider. So that's what we do. So we do not remit money. We do not run transactions on our platform. Now, if your friend makes 5,000 euros per month, he's probably not our client, because the majority of migrant workers, well, Norway is a very rich country in this sense, but the majority of migrant workers, let's say Indians working in Saudi Arabia, they would be making $700-800, and they would be remitting home $300 or $400 per month, yeah? And they wouldn't typically have a bank account. Banks don't like them because they don't make their money. They cannot, issue loans, mortgages, car loan, etc. because, all those people just don't spend, yeah? So banks don't like them, and they don't like banks because they basically don't trust the country to which they have come. They're not familiar, often they don't speak the language. God knows what will happen with their money at that bank. Maybe there will be a fine or tax. My money is safer in my pocket, in cash. So 80% of all the remittances are done in cash. 20% is done in card to card, but bank account to bank account until recently was more expensive, yeah, and that would require your relative back in India or Pakistan or Bangladesh to have a bank account as well, which is very unlikely, very unlikely. So we are talking about people that typically send cash to cash. Cash is king still. So now we have all this data, and our purpose is to make money, but also to be good to them, because only if we can provide objective, useful, free, unbiased service shall we grow. So we do not take money from remittances houses for directing traffic at them just because they paid us. We do not prioritize sponsored links. We would only direct crowds of migrants to them if they really did something good. For example, gave them insurance for loyalty. Now we go to insurance companies and say, how about issuing a group policy for 100,000 people? Then the premium per person becomes very, very cheap. The perceived value is very high, because if you go and buy insurance, personal accident or life insurance for one person, that's going to cost you more than the premium, in the group insurance model. And we say, okay, if you go to this remittance company and stay loyal to it, you've chosen it, so it's good for you. Stay loyal to it for 4 or 5 months. They will buy insurance. They will pay the premium on your behalf into our group policy. Yeah, we will get a commission from the insurance company. This migrant worker will have an insurance which he never had. He will never buy because he doesn't quite understand. He's not going to spend money on it. But if you give it to him, he realizes this is important. Because if something happens to him, what happens to his family, he can't provide. So this is a win-win business for everyone, and the remittance company has loyal customers. There's just only one out of a dozen monetization mechanisms of this data.
Let's make it more easy. As we say, imagine that if there are some people who wants to send money today, how do they practically do using your service?
They go to our website,
yeah, they go
or
to website.
or they can open Skype and call our chatbot,
Yes.
because they can just add chatbot to their friends, to their contact list. Same in Facebook Messenger, and ask the chatbot, I need to send money from
Norway to Afghanistan.
to Afghanistan.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the best deals for me? And the chatbot is likely to ask them, are you sending the money in cash or from card? So you'll answer those couple of questions, like, you will have your location. It will ask you to open your location if the location service is not available. And they say, okay, here are the 5 best deals for you.
So
These companies give you the best terms.
like it will say Western Union, then it will say like for example, Sparebanken, Norwegian Bank, and
Whatever service providers there are in Norway for remittances, it will return the search prioritized by the amount of money received at destination in local currency.
all right.
So if you are sending to Afghanistan, whatever the currency there, if you're
Yeah.
sending to Nigeria, this is Naira.
yeah,
So if you're sending, 300 euros, then this guy will receive so many Naira. If you go to this
Alright.
place, or slightly more if you go to another place, or slightly less if you go to a third place. And we prioritize in the search. And because we do not take any money from remittances companies, these results will be 100% objective.
All right. Okay. Now I do understand how it works.
So now you have used the service. It was free. We didn't make any money.
Yeah.
You just had the best deal.
Yes.
You knew where to go. You have several options. You can go a little farther
Yeah.
and have, less deductions. Or you can go a little closer and then your relative receives a little more money. It's up to you to decide. But now we have your data and we know that if you have asked us today, likely that today or tomorrow you're going to send it, and who you're going to send it to. Now, because we have your IP address and we have all the data, we can display a message to you, not on our website, on any website that you go with any browser. You are reading, I don't know, Mumbai Times.
Yeah, this follow up with the clients, like
Absolutely. So we push a message to you saying, hey, by the way, you'll be picking up money in this location. How about going and taking the advantage of a special individual discount offered to you only in the store which is across the door, or which is across the road.
Yeah.
And for the merchants, or for the remittances houses themselves, what matters to them is the individual offer. Because if they just reduce their commission or make a discount available for everyone, they spend money on advertising campaign, then another shop across the road lowers the prices even more. So they both cannibalize their margins, and the first one loses the money out of the window that he spent on advertising because everybody still goes to the other one. It's a different matter when you can deliver through our service this message individually and in a timely way.
So mostly also, just to clarify it more better, we have a sky scanner.
Yeah.
It's like a sky scanner, but just for the flights, yeah? But this
Correct.
is, that will be not, that will be money scanner, for example.
Money scanner it is,
For
yes.
the-
Yes,
okay.
it's RemitRadar is like money scanner. I don't know how sophisticated the engine is beneath the Skyscanner interface, because Skyscanner receives compensation for lead generation. When it sends you to the website of an airline or travel agencies, he gets paid, or Skyscanner gets paid. In our case, we don't take money from them for that, but we have a very sophisticated engine acquiring all the data of the customers. Then what we do with this data is a separate conversation, because there's like a dozen ways how this can be monetized. But if you have mentioned the example from travel industry, let me share with you one monetization mechanism. The way the remittance market industry is, There are 3 global companies that are very expensive, but they have presence globally everywhere in every country. MoneyGram, RIA, and Western Union. And there's 850 small companies that specialize in certain corridors only, cannot provide global service, but they're much cheaper. In travel industry, you always have an option of taking a direct flight. It's going to be faster, but likely more expensive. Or you take a connecting flight, which will be longer, less convenient, but sometimes much cheaper.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of remittances, if you're sending money from Argentina to Australia, your only option then is Western Union or MoneyGram, because nobody else has global presence simultaneously in all those countries. However, if through fintech, you can have their money go Argentina to London, London to Sydney, that's going to cost you much less, because Western Union is likely to charge you 7-8%. Yeah, it's going to charge you much less. Now, what about the convenience then? In travel, you sacrifice time, but the transactions and remittances are instant either way. So twice instant is still instant.
Yeah.
So you don't sacrifice anything. You just win on commission, and we get part of your savings. These are monetization mechanisms that we are now developing, because up until now we have created this service, we have built this value. We don't have any revenue yet because the monetization hasn't started. But now is a very timely moment for this interview, because we are starting the monetization. We are rolling out the products.
Yeah, so you're going from one level, you're going to another level as I would say a startup. Can I say for this startup?
Well, it is a startup. Yeah. It is still a startup. It will remain a startup until we sell it to a strategic investor. And this investor is likely to be from an insurance industry, I think, because insurance industry is cash rich and data poor. And the remittance industry is data rich and cash poor. It's cash poor because the margins are coming down, because electronic money and this function of moving money actually costs nothing nowadays. It's only the question of receiving money and cash, turning it into electronic money, and the other way around on the receiving end. So that's where we are. Those different products will be separate businesses, and we as an ecosystem will remain a startup for a while until we send it to a strategic investor. If we build the bridge between the remittance and insurance, insurance cannot grow anywhere. The upper class already insured everything. You cannot sell any more insurance to them. They have to grow into the poorer segments of the population. But there, if you just send microinsurance, it can only be done through technology.
Insurance?
The price of the insurance product is so low that only by big numbers you can make money.
It's a very good piece of pie, I would say, insurance, because one of the biggest or richest companies are insurance companies. They have money.
Yeah.
And take a even small piece of it. Warren Buffett is a strategic billionaire because of the insurance company, and of course other companies as well. And this is also
true. But historically, insurance industry was revolving again around the figure of broker, who had a personal relationship with you and your trust and could sell you insurance product.
Yeah.
How about broker for Indian workers or Pakistani workers in labor camps in the United Arab Emirates or in Saudi Arabia? What kind of personal contact are you talking about? You really don't invite these people to your offices. They won't go to your offices. They won't buy your product because they don't quite understand it. They don't quite trust it. They don't have a credit card to pay for it. So the only way to sell them insurance is actually through us. Better still, not to sell, but to give it away, to give it to them as a gift for staying loyal of one or another remittance company. And then the remittance company would sponsor that premium, as I explained. Yeah. This is the only way for the insurance industry to grow. I don't see any other way. So maybe this will happen, maybe something else will happen, but right now we are in the process of finalizing our specifying the products that we want to let into our ecosystem, and then proceed to raising capital in order to implement those various monetization mechanisms.
Thank you very much, Sergei. That was a pleasure.
Thank you, Albert.
To talk to you today.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.